Okay class, hey, welcome back. Now we're going to do some practice problems when it comes to covalent compounds. Remember, your rules for naming covalent compounds and working them out is that first we name our first element, our first nonmetal all the way. Then we shorten this second part or the second nonmetal and put the "-ide" ending. Finally, we add the prefixes, the numerical prefixes, to determine how many there are of each element, or what the subscripts are of each element. Here is the prefixes that we will be using during this video. 1 is mono, 2 is di, 3 is tri, 4 is tetra, 5 is penta, 6 is hexa, 7 hepta, 8 octa, 9 nona, and 10 deca. So let's look at this. First, we are going to be given the chemical formula, and we have to come up with its name. So our first covalent compound is N2O4. Well, I have nitrogen is N, oxygen is O, my prefix for 2 is di, and my prefix for 4 is tetra. So I'm going to put di-nitrogen, so 2 nitrogens, and then it's going to be tetra oxide. Remember, we shorten oxygen to oxide. So it's dinitrogen tetraoxide. Our next one is PCl3. I'm going to say the name of my first nonmetal, which is phosphorus, and then my second one is chlorine, and I'm going to shorten it to chloride. So it's going to be phosphorus chloride. Well, there's 3 chlorine, so it's going to be a tride prefix in front of the chloride. So that's going to be phosphorus trichloride. Our third one is ClF3. We got chlorine and fluoride. Okay, chlorine is your first element, and fluorine's your second one, and that shortens to fluoride. I have 3 fluorine elements, so that's going to be chlorine trifluoride. Not too bad, right? 2 more. Next, we have PCl5. Well, P is phosphorus, and Cl is chlorine. We have 5 chlorines, so that's penta. So we have phosphorus pentachloride. Our last one that we were given our formula for is N2O5. Okay, I got nitrogen and again oxygen, which shortens to oxide. Got 5 oxygens, which is penta, so it's pentaoxide, and 2 nitrogens, so it's dinitrogen pentaoxide. Let's flip it around and say we're given the name of the covalent compound, and we got to find the formula for it. So I have sulfur dioxide. Well, first thing I'm going to write down is I have sulfur, so I'm going to put sulfur and S. And I have oxide is oxygen, so I'm going to put O, so I have S and O. And my dioxide tells me that I have 2 oxygens, so it's SO2. There's no prefix in front of the sulfur, so there's assumed that there's just one of them. Now our next one, sulfur hexafluoride. Okay, once again we have sulfur, S, and fluoride is fluorine, so it's F. So we have S and F. Hexa tells us that there are 6 fluorines, so it's SF6. Our next one is carbon monoxide. C for carbon, O for oxygen. Our mono means 1, so I don't have to put anything down, so it's just CO. Next is carbon tetrafluoride. Okay, we got carbon C, and we got fluorines F. Tetra means 4, so our formula is CF4. And finally, we have carbon dioxide. So we got carbon C and oxygen O. Di means 2, so it's CO2. I hope this helped you out and gives you some examples on how to name and write chemical formulas for covalent compounds. And saying that, keep up the good work of class, and see you next time.